she don't care what you think. Granniopteryx, granniopteryx, she knows the truth, she's linking every link.
Hello. It looks like the first thing and the only thing that Labour ever thinks of is how to limit our personal freedom and our freedom to socialise with others. Who remembers this? This was on the 24th of August 2024, a year ago. The government had been in power a month or so, and almost the first thing they tried was an attempt to ban smoking in pub gardens. That's the way they think. That's what they do. They had to withdraw that due to pressure from the hospitality industry, but they're controlled junkies. They just can't stay away from it. So now they've come up with something else, a new idea. The idea of, instead of sending criminals to jail, why, just stop them going to pubs, cinemas, dances and football matches. Simple. You're punishing them by stopping them from socialising. I hope you don't think that sounds like a good idea. Because if you do, I would strongly urge you to think again. I'll tell you why when I've told you that I'm granniopteryx. Please like this video, please share it, and please subscribe to my channel. If you want to help me financially, you can do that. All the links for that sort of thing are in the description. And if I sound like I'm a little bit sharp right now, that's because the apples on my trees out the back have been slinging fruit at me like those magic brooms slinging water at Disney's Sorcerer's Apprentice. 2 weeks ago, I gave 2 bags of apples to 2 neighbours. Last week, I made 4 apple strudels, 6 apple crumbles and 1 apple cake. Yesterday, I made 8 pots of apple jam, and today I made 6 pots of apple chutney. And the bloody trees are still full of a never-ending stream of more apples, and I'm in a bad mood. OK, back to our Labour government and their Chinese-style social credit wet dream. Let's start by considering what a crime is. To start with, that's not a trivial question, because this government has the idea that a crime is anything at all that it doesn't like. What actually does constitute a crime then? Well, shoplifting, sex assault, a Facebook post, putting up a flag, an overheard private comment to a friend in a cafe that somebody took offence to, or maybe saying to a mounted police officer that his horse is gay. Do you think I'm joking? Some of you who aren't in the UK might think I'm joking. Well, here you are, here's the proof. Calling a police horse gay almost cost my job. An Ulster student last night spoke of his relief at hearing he'll not be prosecuted for calling a mounted policeman's horse gay. He had to go through hell and high water first when it became a national joke. It happened in 2006, by the way, under another Labour government. All of the foregoing had been deemed criminal, and because of that our prisons are overcrowded. Now, isn't that a surprise? So the second question is, why are there so many people in prison to start with? Perhaps if they took restrictions on speech off the books, there'd be a bit of room. Lucy Connolly, in her interview with Alison Pearson, makes the point several times that she isn't the only one. There are plenty more that are in jail but just haven't got the publicity that she had. She also said she couldn't understand why the government had gone for her in the first place. We're nobodies, she said. I have news for you all. the more of a nobody you are, the more the government will try and go for you, believing that there won't be any kickback, but you will serve as a, pour encourager les autres. But back to the crimes. Apart from the speech crimes that shouldn't be in jail, that shouldn't even attract the attention of the police, there's another set of criminals clogging up our prison system, and that's foreign nationals, many here illegally to start with, who shouldn't even be in the country, never mind in our prisons, at something like £51,000 a year per prisoner, and that's for the low security ones. This is in the Daily Mail. It's on Reader View, of course, because they have so many adverts, and they want a blood sample before they'll let me into their page. Now, I don't think I've got really to explain to you that this is such a slippery slope. You see, putting people in jail is a positive action. It can be seen, whereas stopping people from socialising, that's a secret punishment, isn't it? And it's so easy for a judge to impose. There's no worries about overcrowding in prison. It's not obvious who's being punished, and it can be imposed without being noticed. So more and more people will be given such bans. I'm absolutely certain of that. It's human nature. You know, pretty soon the only people at an entertainment venue will be the police. Of course, when it gets to that, there won't be any problems enforcing it. It'll be like lockdown, won't it? If you're out and about, the odds are you're a criminal, ignoring a ban. But before that happens, let's look at it this way. If you go to the cinema when you're banned, what do the courts do next? Ban you from having Sunday lunch with your family, perhaps? Well, how do you enforce such a law? You'll have to have police in pubs and at concerts and football matches checking people's IDs, or more likely they'll impose that on businesses. That'll give them something more to do in their spare time. After all, business owners have such a lot of spare time and resources, haven't they? In fact, what they'll probably end up doing is giving us all a card to swipe ourselves into any venue. Then they'll have a complete record of our social lives, where we go and with whom we go. Or there's always facial recognition, of course. That's another way of tracking us. In fact, it sounds a lot like the Chinese social credit system. At the moment, in China, when you lose social credits, it means restrictions on actually being able to travel, or at least to use certain types of transport. You might not be able to use the train, but you might be able to use the creaky old bus, or it will stop you from being able to stay in certain better hotels. Well, that's not planned for us here just yet. But once the habit has started, who's to say it won't broaden out? People convicted of crimes in England and Wales could find themselves barred from going to pubs and sport matches as part of changes to sentencing rules. It's not a matter of getting a pub ban for being disorderly in a pub. That would make a certain amount of sense. But you might get a pub ban for shoplifting, or, as I said, for speaking your mind. Over here, the Public Order Act of 1986, or the Online Safety Act, which originated in 2023 under a Conservative government, I have to say, but which the Labour Party found very much to their taste. They criminalise any speech deemed offensive, threatening or harmful. And as we've seen, that includes online posts. And as you know, people have been prosecuted for entirely subjective judgments on what's been sort of thought of as malicious communications or inciting hatred. The ideas are so vague and the punishment so easy to impose that for sure it will disproportionately impact what's left of our free speech. But it's not even that. For instance, let's assume you get a pub ban for shoplifting, and then you find that somebody else got a cinema ban for shoplifting. Or a football match ban for shoplifting. It's going to be chaos. And it should be obvious to anyone, to any idiot, that that's what's going to happen. And the government can't see it. They're going to go ahead with this social credit system, which will, as I say, go into a slippery slope because it's so easy to do. All right, well, till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.